The world will try to define you the moment you wake up, unless you beat it to it. So the question is, are you starting your day with your power, or giving it away before your feet even hit the ground? Mornings are more than just a beginning. They are your spiritual reset, your psychological battlefield, your moment to reclaim the pen and write the script of your day before the world scribbles on your soul. What you tell yourself in those first minutes becomes your foundation. Most people roll over, check their phone and absorb chaos, but not you. Not anymore. This is your call to rise with intention, to declare who you are before the world tells you otherwise. Every morning, you have 5 seconds to either ignite your spirit or let the noise in. These 5 affirmations aren't just words, they are weapons, truths, and tools to armor your mind and soul. Say them loud, say them like you mean them, say them like your life depends on it, because it does. Number 1, I am the author of today's story. No one else holds the pen. This simple but profound affirmation isn't just motivational fluff. It's a radical declaration of power, presence, and personal responsibility. Every morning when your eyes open, life hands you a blank page. The world may try to scribble its own chaos on that page. Emails, social media, expectations, noise, fear. But you must remember, only you hold the pen. You are not a side character in your own life. You are not a background actor in someone else's drama. You are the author, the editor, and the director of your day. And authors don't wait for permission. They create, they define, they decide. So when you rise with authority. Don't let yesterday's narrative become today's reality unless it serves your evolution. Too many people wake up and immediately surrender authorship. They check their phones and absorb everyone else's mood, agenda, and storylines before even checking in with their own soul. But not you. You are reclaiming your voice, your plotline, your tone. Whether it's a quiet chapter of rest or a breakthrough scene of bold action, the story is yours to shape. You can pivot at any moment. You can rewrite your role from victim to victor, from confused to clear, from passive to powerful. The pen is symbolic. It means you get to define the meaning of the day, regardless of the circumstances. Rain doesn't have to mean gloom. It can mean renewal. Rejection doesn't have to mean failure. It can mean redirection. You have that level of power. And yet, we forget it. It cannot happen. We hand over our pen too easily. To fear, to regret, to people who don't even read our story with care. But each morning you have a chance to take it back. Remind yourself, no one else writes this chapter unless I allow them to. That means no toxic comment, no unpredictable news, no difficult person has the authority to change your narrative unless you give them the pen. And don't underestimate the daily power of choice, because every small choice you make is a sentence in your story. The food you eat, the words you speak, the thoughts you choose to entertain, the boundaries you set, the actions you take, they all build the plot. This isn't about perfection, it's about authorship. Even if yesterday's page was messy, today you get a clean sheet. You can choose new dialogue. You can build new chapters. You can evolve the character you're becoming. But you must begin the day by saying it with full conviction. I am the author of today's story. No one else holds the pen. The story is over. 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 You can only start with today. Today is the day. You can only start with today. Today is the day. You can only start with today. Today's. Say it until your subconscious believes it. Say it until it rewires your posture, your mindset, your decisions. Because the truth is, If you don't author your story, someone else will. And they won't write it with your dreams in mind. They'll write it with their convenience at heart. So stop waiting for a plot twist to save you. Be the plot twist. Be the shift. Be the conscious force that shapes how this day unfolds. You don't need approval to write your truth. You don't need validation to change your direction. And you don't need a perfect past to craft a powerful present. Right now, right here, with nothing but your awareness and your will, you can begin a new chapter. You can be the person who finally stood up and said, "No more letting others dictate my emotional weather. No more letting old pain narrate today's possibilities. No more letting the world decide who I am before I do." When you wake up each day and declare your authorship, you stop reacting and start creating. And creation is the birthplace of confidence, clarity, and control. So as you step into your morning, hold that invisible pen with pride. Let it remind you that no matter what life throws at you today, you still choose how you respond. You still choose what kind of energy you bring. You still choose the tone of your internal dialogue. You still choose who you are becoming, because you and only you write the story of your life. And today is the next powerful page. Number 2, my energy is my currency, and I spend it wisely. This statement is not just a motivational phrase. It's a complete reframe of how you view your time, your emotions, your focus, and your presence in the world. Energy is not infinite. You wake up each day with a limited supply, and the way you distribute it determines the quality of your experiences, the depth of your relationships, and the speed of your personal growth. Just like you wouldn't carelessly hand your money to strangers, toxic people, distractions, or unworthy causes, you shouldn't waste your energy on things that bring no return. Energy is more valuable than money because money can be replaced, but energy, once spent, is gone forever. When you begin your day by telling yourself, "My energy is my currency," you're reminding yourself to become intentional with how you move, respond, react, and engage. It means you don't argue with fools. You don't entertain drama. You don't chase things that are not aligned. And you definitely don't pour yourself into situations that leave you emotionally bankrupt. Ask yourself, where does your energy go the minute you wake up? Is it lost in comparison on social media? Is it wasted worrying about what might go wrong? Is it leaking into negative self-talk or mindless consumption, or people who never pour anything back into you? Because if you spend your energy on these things, you'll always feel drained, not because life is hard, but because you're broke in the bank of your own spirit. Your attention is an investment. Your emotions are a resource. Your thoughts are fuel. You must guard these things like treasure. Just like a financially wise person doesn't spend recklessly, you must become energetically wise, choosing where you place your attention, who you allow into your mental space, and what thoughts you nourish. Energy is contagious, and every interaction is a transaction. Every conversation, every piece of content you consume, every environment you step into is either depositing into your account or withdrawing from it. So when you say, "I spend it wisely," it's a declaration of boundaries, discipline, and self-respect. It means you don't let guilt force you into saying yes when your soul is screaming no. It means you don't sacrifice your peace for temporary approval or comfort. It means you protect your mornings from chaos, your afternoons from distraction, and your evenings from depletion. And it's not selfish, it's sacred. Because when your energy is right, your mind is clear, your decisions are sharp, and your power is activated, you show up as your highest self, and everything in your life begins to reflect that vibrational standard. But this level of energetic mastery requires awareness. You must audit what drains you and what feeds you. You must learn the difference between being busy and being effective. You must recognize that stress is often a sign you've spent too much energy on things you cannot control. And above all, you must remember that your energy is a form of love. It is life force itself. Don't hand it over casually. Don't scatter it in 10 directions and wonder why nothing is growing. Concentrate it, focus it. Use it with precision. In the same way a smart investor multiplies their money by making strategic moves, you multiply your energy by aligning it with purpose, with values, and with soul-driven action. Choose conversations that uplift you. Choose activities that energize you. Choose silence when the noise has nothing new to offer. Choose solitude when the crowd threatens to dilute your essence, because every choice you make is a transaction in the bank of your energy, and the returns will either compound into peace, power, and progress, or spiral into fatigue, frustration, and failure. So each morning, before you pick up your phone, before you step into your roles and responsibilities, tell yourself this sacred truth. My energy is my currency, and I spend it wisely. Say it with authority. Say it like a guardian of your inner kingdom. Say it like a person who has learned the high cost of carelessness and is done paying it. Say it until it shifts the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you protect your boundaries, and the way you honor your time on this earth. Because in the end, how you spend your energy is how you live your life. And when you spend it wisely, you begin to build a life that feels like wealth in every sense of the word. Number 3, I don't chase. What's meant for me moves toward me. This affirmation is not about passivity or inaction. It's about trust, alignment, and understanding the magnetic power of your energy when you are in a state of inner peace, purpose, and confidence. Chasing comes from a place of fear, scarcity, and desperation. It whispers that you're not enough as you are, that what you desire is running from you, that you must beg, bend, hustle endlessly, or prove your worth to earn love, success, recognition, or peace. But the truth is, what is meant for you doesn't need to be chased. It recognizes you. It's attracted to the real you. When you wake up each morning and declare, you are choosing to ground yourself in self-respect, knowing that your time, your presence, and your energy are too valuable to be spent in pursuit in anything that does not see your worth. You are stepping into a higher frequency where you don't force outcomes. You flow with alignment. You don't push for validation. You stand in your authenticity. You don't exhaust yourself trying to hold on to what's slipping. You trust that what truly belongs to you can never be lost. This doesn't mean you don't work hard or take action. It means your effort is rooted in intention, not anxiety. There is a difference between chasing and creating. When you chase, you move from a place of lack. When you create, you move from a place of abundance. When you chase, you're trying to prove your value. When you align, you know your value. And the most magnetic thing in the world is someone who knows who they are, where they are going, and what they will no longer tolerate. That kind of certainty is electric. It pulls the right people, opportunities, and experiences toward you without needing to beg or chase. Because energy doesn't lie. The universe mirrors back your vibration. If you radiate neediness, you attract situations that drain and reject you. But if you radiate wholeness, calm, purpose, and clarity, the right things will find you without struggle. So start your mornings by releasing the grip. Let go of the mindset that says, I have to force this to happen. Let go of the anxiety that believes time is running out. Let go of the people who only respond when you chase them, who only show up when you overextend yourself. You deserve more. You deserve reciprocity. You deserve effort that matches your own. And the moment you stop chasing what isn't meant for you is the moment you stop becoming visible to what is. Your peace is power. Your stillness is strategy. Your standards are sacred. And as you hold your ground, you give the universe space to deliver what you truly desire, not because you begged for it, but because you became the person who naturally attracts it. Flowers don't chase bees, yet the bees come. Oceans don't chase light, it shines, and everything turns toward it. The sun doesn't chase light, it shines, and everything turns toward it. Likewise, when you shine in your truth and stop shrinking, when you show up rooted in who you are, you naturally draw what's aligned. So say this affirmation with conviction. I don't chase. What's meant for me moves toward me. Not because you're lazy, but because you are wise. Not because you don't care, but because you've outgrown the cycles of begging for what should be freely given. You no longer audition for love, attention, or opportunities. You are the opportunity. You are the experience. And those who are meant to walk with you will recognize your frequency, not because you shouted the loudest, but because you moved in silent strength. Your role is not to chase, but to become. Become the kind of person whose energy is undeniable. Become the kind of soul that's so grounded, so purpose-driven, so magnetic in truth that anything not meant for you is naturally repelled, and everything that is meant for you arrives without chaos. Last point. You are not the kind of person who's magnetic in truth, that anything not meant for you is naturally repelled, and everything that is meant for you arrives without chaos. This is the power of non-chasing. It allows life to bring you the right things at the right time in the right way. And when you trust this, you stop fearing delays, you stop mourning rejections, and you start honoring the divine timing of your life. Every morning, remind yourself that the universe is not testing you by withholding. It's preparing you by aligning. You're not being punished by the pause. You're being positioned for something greater. What's meant for you will move toward you when you move in alignment with your truth. So hold your peace. Keep your standards. Protect your energy. Be still, but never stagnant. Walk, but never chase. And trust that your calm confidence is the most powerful magnet of all. Number 4. Even my smallest step today moves me toward a giant future. This truth is your antidote to overwhelm. Your reminder that progress doesn't always roar. It often whispers. In a world obsessed with big wins, overnight success, and viral breakthroughs, it's easy to underestimate the quiet power of consistency, of doing the small things that nobody sees, but that shape everything. But the reality is, every giant leap begins with a single step. And often, it's the steps you take when no one is watching, when you feel uncertain, or tired, or unmotivated, that shape the entire trajectory of your life. So when you wake up and say this to yourself each morning, you're aligning your mind with patience, purpose, and power. You're rejecting the toxic pressure to do it all at once and embracing the long game of personal mastery. Because the compound effect is real, small, intentional steps taken daily compound into seismic shifts. One workout doesn't transform your body, but a commitment to move every day reshapes your health. One page doesn't make a book, but writing every day builds the foundation for your story. One choice to speak kindly to yourself won't fix years of self-doubt, but repeat it daily, it rewires your brain for confidence and peace. You must learn to honor the small steps as sacred, because that's where your giant future begins. Not in the loud moments of celebration, but in the quiet moments of discipline. Even on the days when motivation is low, even on the days when progress feels invisible, remind yourself, this step still matters, Every drop counts when you're filling an ocean. Every brick matters when you're building a foundation. Every step you take, no matter how small, is proof that you're moving, and movement is power. It means you're not stagnant, not stuck, not surrendering to fear. It means you're committed to the future version of yourself, even when today's version doesn't feel like enough. And that kind of devotion creates miracles. The truth is, most people quit because they can't see the harvest while they're still planting seeds. They want the fruit without tending to the roots. But not you. You understand that greatness isn't built in a day. It's built daily. You understand that showing up for your life in small ways is what gives you the strength to show up in big ones. The gym session you didn't skip, the book you kept reading, the boundary you held, the glass of water instead of soda, the journal entry, the prayer, the breath, the choice to keep going when it was easier to stop. That's where your future is being formed. In the tiny, almost invisible decisions that say, I believe in who I'm becoming. So don't discount today just because it looks ordinary. Don't underestimate this moment just because it feels small. Today is a building block. Today is part of the bridge. Today is a test of your vision. If you can be faithful with little, life will entrust you with much. When you say, even my smallest step today moves me toward a giant future, you are choosing to walk in vision, not emotion. You're reminding yourself that momentum matters more than perfection. That forward is forward, no matter the speed. That your dreams are not made by giant moments but by daily ones, honored, protected, and repeated until they become your new normal. Your future self is already thanking you for every step you're taking now. The discipline you build today becomes the freedom you live tomorrow. The small sacrifices become big rewards. And the things that once felt hard eventually become effortless because you practiced when no one clapped. So hold your head high. Take that small step. Write the paragraph. Make the call. Forgive yourself. Try again. And remember that greatness doesn't always look grand. It often looks like quiet perseverance, gentle consistency, an unshakable faith that every small act of alignment matters, because it does. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize the giant future you're standing in was made entirely out of small, courageous, imperfect steps you took, starting with today. Number 5, I am not who I was. I am who I choose to become today. This is the declaration that breaks the chains of your past and sets your future in motion. When you speak these words each morning, you are reminding yourself that you are not bound to your history. You are not the sum of your mistakes, your traumas, your regrets, or your former limitations. You are a living, evolving being with the divine ability to transform, redirect, and recreate yourself at any moment. So many people wake up every day dragging the weight of who they used to be, the bad decisions, the old labels, the heartbreaks, the missed chances, until their past becomes a prison that distorts their present and sabotages their future. But the truth is, your past only has the power you continue to give it. It's not the events that define you, it's the meaning you assign to them, and more importantly, how you rise beyond them. You are not required to be the same person today that you were yesterday. You have the right to change. You have the right to grow. You have the right to evolve, outgrow environments, shift beliefs, release identities that no longer fit, and walk away from stories that no longer serve you. You are not fixed. You are fluid. Not stuck. You are in motion. Each morning is a spiritual reset, a fresh opportunity to decide, who do I want to be today? Not based on my past pain, but on my future potential. Not reacting to my wounds, but responding to my calling. This affirmation calls you to stop rehearsing what went wrong and start rehearsing who you're becoming. It urges you to look in the mirror and see not your scars but your strength, not your failures but your fire. Because the most powerful truth you can own is this: identity is a decision. You do not wake up with your worth. It is not handed to you by others, by your past, or by your circumstances. You wake up and claim it. You choose it. You say, today I choose to show up with courage. Today I choose to believe I am worthy of love, of peace, of success. Today I choose to speak differently, to walk differently, to act in alignment with the person I'm becoming, not the person I've outgrown. And yes, some people will try to keep you in your past. They'll remind you of your mistakes. They'll call you by the name you no longer answer to. That's okay. Let them. You don't need anyone's permission to evolve. You don't need anyone's applause to become. Your growth is not for their comfort. It's for your freedom. And freedom starts with radical self-honesty. Who do I want to be today? How does that version of me speak, walk, eat, think, respond, love, forgive, and lead? You don't need a complete roadmap. You just need a decision, a direction, a refusal to keep repeating what broke you. Each time you remind yourself that you are who you choose to become. You're rewriting your story in real time. You're telling the universe, I'm ready to be more. And when your actions follow that choice, when you act like the version of yourself you've only dreamed of being, something powerful happens. You become it, not in one grand leap, but in 1,000 small, courageous steps taken every day. Because the only thing that stands between who you were and who you can be is a choice made in the now. And when you make it repeatedly, with clarity and conviction, the gap disappears. So leave the guilt behind. Burn the script. Let go of the labels, the voices, the false beliefs. Let the old version of you rest in peace. You don't owe your past anything except gratitude for the lessons. What you do owe is your present self. The truth, the effort, the love, the discipline, and the commitment to step fully into your evolution. So speak it boldly when the sun rises. I am not who I was. I am who I choose to become today. Speak it with reverence. Speak it like a vow. Because your life isn't written in stone. It's written in action, in choices, in mindset, in belief. And when you choose to believe in the greatness planted within you, when you water it daily with discipline, hope, and relentless self-honor, you'll watch yourself rise into a version of you that not only inspires others, but finally feels like home. And so, as you begin each morning with these 5 powerful declarations, I am the author of today's story. My energy is my currency. I don't chase. What's meant for me moves toward me. Even my smallest step today moves me toward a giant future. And I am not who I was. I am who I choose to become today. Understand that you are not simply repeating motivational phrases. You are activating a new reality. You are awakening your inner power, taking back control from fear, doubt, and distraction, and aligning your life with purpose, vision, and spiritual authority. These words are more than affirmations. They are daily contracts with your higher self. Speak them with faith. Speak them with fire. Speak them like your future is listening, because it is. Advice: begin your day before the world begins to pull you. Guard your mornings like sacred ground. Don't rush into the noise. Create silence. Breathe deeply. Speak life over yourself before anyone else has the chance to speak anything less. Speak consistent even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Let these truths shape your thoughts, your posture, your presence. Make them your spiritual armor and your emotional compass. And remember, there is no perfect morning routine, but there is a powerful one. And it starts with what you tell yourself when no one else is watching. That's where transformation begins. Not in big events, but in quiet declarations. Be patient with your progress. You won't see the full impact in a week or even a month, but over time you'll feel the shift. Your peace will deepen, your confidence will stabilize, your boundaries will harden, and your light, your God-given light, will grow so strong that nothing and no one can dim it. These daily affirmations are seeds. Keep planting them. Water them with action. Trust the process and trust yourself. Now let us pray together. Heavenly Creator, divine source of all wisdom and strength, thank you for the gift of this new day. Thank you for waking me up with breath in my body, purpose in my soul, and vision in my heart. Today I choose to speak life over myself. I declare that I am not a victim of my past, but a vessel for my future. Guide my steps, guard my energy, and help me walk in alignment with the best version of who I was created to be. Remind me that even my smallest efforts matter, that my peace is sacred, and that what is meant for me cannot miss me. Strip away doubt, fear, and distraction. Fill me with strength, clarity, discipline, and divine favor. I surrender this day to you, knowing that you go before me, within me, and beside me. Let my words reflect power, let my choices reflect purpose, and let my life reflect your light. Amen. Now go forward, not as who you were, but as who you choose to become, starting today. Speak boldly, walk purposefully, and never forget. Your mornings are the gateway to your greatness.